This year with the rain, people perhaps are waiting for the rain to die down. However, even if it does keep raining this weekend, I'm going to tell you why you should still come. See this stuff right here, this sawdust? On a sunny day, it's going to get all over you. So when you get closer to the carvers to get the action, you just get covered in it. But on a rainy day, that sawdust doesn't travel too far. So as a viewer, it's much more enjoyable even if you do come in the rain. In the wake of last month's tragic accident, the TTC says they'll be launching a one-year pilot program with dash cameras. The TTC says safety is paramount to them, and dash cameras can provide the answers when accidents happen. If you go to CRA's website, you will find posters with tips on how to avoid these callers. However, it's up to the RCMP to track these scammers down. The CRA is aware of the problem and says there are several red flags that people should listen for to find out if the person that's calling you is indeed trying to scam you. For many of us here in Canada, access to drinking water is fairly simple and requires very little effort. Sadly, that's not the case in parts of Ethiopia. Don Titus elementary school teacher Brenda Key went to a summer camp this past year in Ethiopia, and she says due to a broken well, people have to embark on a journey just to get some water.
Some of the people will walk 2 days to get to the water source, and it takes about 20 minutes because it's just gravity-fed pipes. It takes about 20 minutes to fill a jerry can.
Ansel, the group that organizes these summer camps, is working hard to raise money in order to repair the well. Knowing just how valuable this well could be for the community, Ms. Key decided to turn to her students for help.
Going to be walking to the fire house, and we're going to be walking back here and carrying the water we need to use in a day as a representative of what Ethiopia people have to do.
Students laced up their boots, and for the next hour, they hauled as much water as they could carry.
Well, people could sponsor them for a flat rate, or they could sponsor the kids per liter. So we have a tally going on, so the kids are just going to go back and forth to the school. Yeah. And then however many liters they brought, we'll send it home with their pledge sheet. So if somebody sponsored them for $1 a liter and they hauled 10 liters, then they would get $10.
But it wasn't all just about the hard work. Underneath all those gallons of water, Ms. Key made sure a few lessons would surface.
Maybe help the kids realize how much we take it for granted. You know, we've done graphs and figured out how much water we use in a day. So now we're going to look at how much we hauled and how that compares to how much we actually use in a day. And the kids kind of realize that, yeah, water is something that we do take for granted.
For Chet TV News, I'm Marlon Gomez. 8 women in the GTA were promised the famous curves of J-Lo and Kim Kardashian. But what they got instead was unbearable pain and potential lifelong health problems. They went to PMMAinjection.com and jumped on the chance to pay a fraction of the cost for plastic surgery. The women met with Marilyn Reed and paid close to $5,000. The court was told she used a caulking gun, similar to these, which can be bought at hardware stores. She filled them with silicone oil and injected the women's buttocks. Reed's defense lawyer says her client should have known the consequences.
It's, again, willfully blind that she ought to have known because, again, she's going to a hotel. It's not therapeutic. It's not like you're going to a plastic surgeon up in Yorkville and walking in, and some covered by OHIP, some not. So, I mean, I think that the answer is between the cards.
Reed, shown on the left, pleaded guilty to all counts of aggravated assault with a blank stare. The Crown told the court some women could have died. In an agreed statement of fact, the court was told Reed reassured the women that a nice plump butt was all they had to worry about. During today's trial, Reed showed no emotion when she pleaded guilty to all 8 charges. She'll be back again on February 27th for her sentencing trial. At that point, the Crown is asking for Reed to serve 9 to 10 years in prison, while the defense is asking for time already served. Reporting from downtown Toronto, I'm Marlon Gomez, CTV News. Okay, let's move on to other local news. Mayor and Council met yesterday for their regular bi-weekly meeting. Among the topics discussed were taxes. With less than 2 weeks left to adopt the budget and send it to the province, a decision had to be made. Some councillors and Mayor Nichols felt we must increase taxes if we want to keep up with the cost of living.
If you don't increase taxes, to at least maintain, and I'm not talking to, to go above the cost of living, but at least, unless we increase taxes to maintain the level that we're getting, we're actually going down.
In other local news, with close to 129 millimeters of rain dropping in Chetwynd last week and the mayor declaring a state of emergency, the town has already started fixing all the damage that the flood left behind. Scarrett Park was one of the hardest hit areas last Wednesday. In order to prevent further damage, the city had to convince CN Rail to let them dig underneath 150 feet of rail line so the water could keep flowing. Paul Gordon, Chetwynd's Director of Engineering and Public Works, says CN Rail has already done some temporary work.
And this is their repair. They put 3 larger pipes back in plus one of the original pipes. This is a temporary repair, so CN tells us, because the staging area for the rest of the damage out here comes from Chetwynd. This was the most important piece to fix first so the trains can get out with the repair crews.